Hey, it's Zane. Welcome back. Thank you for tuning in. Hope you're having a great day. Today I want to talk about banks. Is your money safe in the bank? What would you do if you couldn't access your money in the bank for a week, for a month, for a year? What would that mean to your life? Have you ever asked yourself this question? Now, I realize that most people in this country are completely complacent to all of this because we've never had a situation like this before. But we have to understand what's happening in the world right now. Now, firstly, in this country, I speak with people every single week on my one-on-one Zoom calls who tell me that they're having trouble withdrawing their money from their bank account to an exchange to buy Bitcoin. Okay, it's happening right now. It's not like something that could happen. This is actual reality. Happened to me very recently. And so we have to understand that this is a red flag. This is a sign of things to come. Right around the world now, there's all of this talk about central bank digital currencies, digital IDs, the way that your financial life is going to be tied to your ability to be obedient in terms of your health choices, in terms of your spending patterns, in terms of your social behavior, etc., etc. And so we're heading into a dystopian reality of where everything about our life is going to be surveilled if we allow it. And so the good news is that you and I have an option, and that option, of course, is decentralized money called Bitcoin. Completely decentralized, outside the purview of any institution, CEO, politician, central banker. That is the power of Bitcoin, and we've had this option since October 2008. And it's only now that people are starting to wake up and realize what this actually is. Yes, it's exciting to watch Bitcoin's growth. Yes, we know that it's repricing every other asset. Yes, we know that it's the best performing asset of all time. All of those things are very, very exciting because it gives you and I the opportunity to accelerate our wealth in ways that we've never seen before. And, if we consider the opportunity ahead of us, I believe that it's exponential. I believe that fiat currencies around the world, including the Australian dollar, are failing. They're going to zero. And so Bitcoin, because it is a scarce, finite, decentralized monetary protocol, it is going to absorb all of the financial premium out of that infinite currency known as the Australian dollar, the US dollar, the euro, etc., etc., etc. And this is why it is often said that Bitcoin has no top, because fiat currencies have no bottom. So we're heading into a new world now, and this is why I'm so thankful for the people who have the foresight and the the aptitude to have joined my membership community, my Bitcoin Success Circle. We had our fifth weekly training session last night, and it was co-hosted by myself and founder of the Bitcoin Way, Mr. Tony Yazbek. And the feedback I've had this morning from that session has just been absolutely phenomenal. I know how much value people are getting from being a part of this community. It's one of the great things about Bitcoin is the quality of the people that it attracts. And so if you want to be around like-minded people and get coaching from me and be connected with other like-minded Aussies who are in this space, who are on this journey, who value freedom and financial autonomy and building a life for themselves and their kids in a decentralized, opt-out environment, then please reach out to me and I'll share with you what we're doing and how you can be a part of it. But I want to talk today about banking, because banking is not as safe as you think. And we have to understand that we're moving into a phase now where they're wanting to really tighten the screws financially so that they can censor, control and surveil every aspect of your life and tie it into your digital ID, your carbon credits, your social credit score. And so this is a new reality where people are going to really start to experience a level of surveillance in their life that they haven't experienced before. And so, like I said, you have to ask yourself if that's something that you're okay with. And you might say, well, what choice have I got? I'm just got to accept it. Well, no, you don't have to accept it. Accepting it is what led us to the global financial crisis in 2008. Bitcoin was an option that came out on the back of that as a middle finger to the establishment, not just the financial elite, but the establishment elite, to give people an opportunity to preserve the most important thing to all of their freedom, and that is their financial autonomy. And it's just taken us a lot of years to work out what Bitcoin is. People didn't realize that it's not just a collectible, or it's not just internet funny money, or just for cypherpunks. And now we realize, well, hang on, no, this is a completely decentralized protocol that is completely transforming the entire financial system as we know it. But you have to be paying attention to Bitcoin to realize it. You have to be pricing the world in Bitcoin to realize it. You have to be pricing your real estate, your house you live in Bitcoin to see it, to see the truth. But more and more people are going to see the truth as time goes on, because they're going to realize that they do not want to be a part of this dystopian new reality that we're heading into. Now, this is not just me saying this and sounding the alarm bell on this. If you Google CBDCs, digital IDs, central bank digital currencies, if you put that into a Google search or a YouTube search right now today, you're going to see interview after video after documentary of people who are very much tied into what's going on in all of this, who will educate you on how deep this goes. And it's not a pretty sight, believe me. And if you can't be bothered doing it for yourself, at least do it for the freedom of your kids. That's what I would say, because I know a lot of people, they're lazy, they're complacent, they don't want to learn anything new. They get to a stage in life where she'll be right, mate. You know, I'm just at a stage now where I don't want to open my mind to anything new, any new reality. I'll just take whatever comes. But, you know, complacency is a killer in all of this. You've got to be progressive. You've got to be thinking outside the box. You've got to be thinking in terms of a decentralized way. You've got to have a warrior mentality in all of this. You've got to be thinking, no, I'm here to protect and preserve everything I've worked for myself, for my family. And that's what Bitcoin enables you to do. So I really want you to get that. In this country and around the world, we have a system of banking known as fractional reserve banking. And what this means is that the banks do not hold the deposits that you think they hold. They do not have your money. And if you doubt this, what I'd encourage you to do is to go down to the bank and try and withdraw $5,000 today. And let me know how you go with that. Okay? And just imagine now that a situation where on any given day, everybody went and did that. All your friends, your family, your community, everybody went down to try and withdraw $2,000, $5,000, $10,000 out of their bank account. The banks don't have your money. Okay? All that you see is digits on a screen. It only works for as long as there's calm. The minute that people get nervous, people go to collect their money all at once, the truth is revealed of fractional reserve banking, and that is that the banks are not required to hold the deposit reserves that you think that they hold in order to have their lending programs, what they do. They don't need the deposits to lend the money out every time they create a mortgage. They just need to push a button, and there you go. They have another $500,000, million, whatever it is, dollar mortgage that they've just injected into the community that they've created essentially from nothing. Now someone's on the hook for the interest for the next 30 years, and they've just created another $1 million worth of inflation into the housing market. That's how this system works. That's what fractional reserve banking is. And it's been that way essentially since the gold standard was severed, since everything became financialized, since banking deregulation, since housing became utilized as a financialized asset, as a casino. And this is where we are now, but there's a price associated with all that. So, fractional reserve banking is a problem. Banks have failed around the world. banks right now in Vietnam, in Thailand, tens of thousands of people can't access their money. It's happening right now. You can look it up for yourself. In 2023, banks in Silicon Valley, there was a number of them that experienced what is known as a bank run. People were coming in to try and access their money. They were getting nervous about the lending practices of those institutions, and the banks shut the doors. And it was only FDIC, the insurance around people's deposits, that enabled people to get their money back. But, FDIC in a situation where you have more than the insurance amount is not going to save you. And there's also a lot of doubt as to whether or not FDIC insurance on your deposits would save you in a time of capital controls, in a time of executive order due to, let's say, some kind of geopolitical conflict around the world. And so you just have to understand this is the environment we're in right now. It's not a normal environment. Historically, we've never had to worry about these things, but now we do. Imagine being in Lebanon in October 2019, and Tony talks about this often, Tony Yazbek. He was caught up in the Lebanese banking crisis of October 2019, retired IT professional, cybersecurity expert, woke up to find that he had no access to his money, his life savings. And it remained that way. And Tony lost everything, as did everybody else in Lebanon. And it took him some years to get through that, and that led him to found the Bitcoin way. And now his life mission is to ensure that none of his clients go through what he went through. And he understands at a very, very deep level what Bitcoin is designed to do, but you must do it right. You must hold it in self-custody. You must run a node. You must have a robust setup and some redundancies in place around your Bitcoin. And that's what Bitcoin is here for. It's designed to enable you to be financially decentralized, autonomous, detached, and self-sovereign. It's designed to be permissionless. It's designed to be unconfiscatable. But there's a lot of people out there who aren't doing this right. And again, this is why I do my coaching calls, to get people on the right track with all of this. This is why I have my private mentorship community, the Bitcoin Success Circle, and people are joining that because they want to educate, they want to learn, they want to take their knowledge to the next level, they want to do this right, they want to be around like-minded people who are on the same path. So, your money in the bank, when it all boils down to it, in a time of crisis, is not actually yours. Legally, you're just an unsecured creditor of the bank. If the bank fails, you may not get your money back beyond the insurance limits. It's really important to keep that in mind. And you think you own it, but really, all you've really done is you've loaned it to the bank. You're an unsecured creditor of the bank. It is a paper IOU. And so you have to be thinking beyond that right now. It's unfortunate that we have to educate ourselves about something new. It's unfortunate that we've got to learn some new skills at this stage in our life. It's unfortunate that the people who run this nation and the people who sit in their own little echo chamber in amongst the World Economic Forum and these government summits and all of that, it's unfortunate that they want to maintain their relevance at the expense of their populations. It's unfortunate that that's the situation we're in, but it is the reality. And so you get to choose whether you want to be a part of it or whether you want to start opting out and choosing for yourself a pathway that at the very least, gives you some options that are outside of that system. It's what I'm doing. It's what my people in my community are doing. And it's what I recommend that you at least consider doing for yourself and your family. And like I said, if it's not for yourself, at least start thinking very seriously about what the future looks like for your kids if you do not do this. So Bitcoin is not just number go up. It is such a powerful monetary protocol because it gives you and I the ability to take control back of our financial lives. Imagine a world where your complete financial existence is now entirely centralized, completely controlled, surveilled, and programmed. That's the reality that is coming for most people. Unfortunately, in this country, more than 50% of the population is employed either directly or indirectly by the government, so there's a really good chance that they will not bite the hand that feeds them. But if you're not in that boat and you don't want to sacrifice your freedom for safety, then maybe it's a good time for you to be doubling down on Bitcoin, taking your learning to the next level, really thinking very seriously about your superannuation, your retirement funds, your capital. Is all of it stored in centralized assets such as real estate, stocks and shares? If so, you need to be looking at that very, very closely. If you want to set up a decentralized component inside an SMSF, if you want to roll over your underperforming industry super fund and take back control so that you're controlling your retirement account through an SMSF, do it compliantly. The good news is you can still do that and buy Bitcoin inside your SMSF and take it into self-custody, which I think is a really smart step, which many people are doing right now as well. If you need help with that, book a call with me and I'll talk you through it. I'll point you in the right direction. But I think I'm going to leave it there today. So much to take in here. I don't want to keep going on about this, but it's really just a wake-up call to be really paying attention to what's going on in the world, paying close attention to your own personal situation and looking at Bitcoin through a different set of eyes than perhaps you have in the past. And I think that if you do that, you give yourself a shot in this changing world that we're in. This is Zane signing out. Please leave your thoughts and comments below. Please like, share and subscribe. And like I said, if you'd like to book a one-on-one session with me, you'll see a link in the show notes and I look forward to seeing you there. This is Zane signing out. Have a great day. Bye for now.